What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, RAF ESPARZA, coming to you with another great installment of the Bullpen, a joint venture between Inside BJJ and the Grappling Hour. I hope you're having a great day. I'm having a pretty good day. I mean, yeah, I am sad. Soccer is done. It's a good time. One of the few times in the world where we're all united and like stuff together. Not all stuff. Because people still say things happen in soccer that are like kind of weird, contextual, but it was like a lot of fun. And like a lot of people watched it, and I have thoughts on that. But by and large, we agree on almost everything except how was that halftime show? And we'll get to that in a second. But first, let's welcome my good friend, Tim Freeman. Tim, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. Yeah, not a soccer fan, but I watched about 23 minutes of the World Cup spread across the 2-week time span that it happened in. Part of it was the halftime show, to be honest with you, because I try not to miss it when Shakita's on the halftime show. I'm just a big fan. It was fun. It was good. Yeah, it's good. I don't know what's happening in soccer, so I can't even criticize what's going on. I don't even know what's happening. I just know that Messi didn't win, and he laid down on the grass and cried and whatevs. But I'm glad that Americans had such a good time with it, and it seemed like the folks that came to America to visit also had a good time. So that was pretty rad too.
We did okay. We did okay, but we didn't even win hosting. The true host of this one that walked away with it was Mexico. Like, everybody had glowing things to say about Mexico for their hosting. So when Trump was like, we want to get it next time, and I go, that's great. Mexico might be able to, if we weren't so politically inclined, Mexico would have gotten by merit. But we here in America are not afraid of getting things without merit. What I would tell you, though, is this. Tim, you mentioned that you did watch the halftime show. I need you to break down the assessment. I need you to rank the performers. So, there were several performers in that halftime show.
Hold
Top
on.
to bottom.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't know all of the performers. So
I got you because I know who they are, and I am still with it enough to know who these people are. It started with Madonna. After Madonna, it then went to, I want to say, BTS. After BTS, it went to Shakira. Then it was Justin Bieber. And this is where things get confusing. At the very end, it was like, yay, children. And Coldplay was there because Chris Martin curated it. So let's rank those five. Tell me from bottom to top, who are your best performers?
Wow. Okay. Gonna go out there and say this. Look, I like Madonna for her body of work. Okay. She's got some pop songs that were very, very popular. I don't necessarily need to see Madonna perform anymore. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean that. It's the same way that, like, I don't necessarily want to see old fighters fight anymore. People don't want to listen to me talk either. So I get it. We all have preferences, strong ones at times. So, I was like, Madonna. That's like the appetizer now that comes out that, like, you used to really love that cheese bread. Now it's like, oh my God, I can't believe I ate that. BTS, I believe these are is this like the K-pop group?
Yes.
Is that right? Listen, I don't know anything about the K-pop world. I do know that it's very, very popular. Performance-wise, they dance and they sing, and it seems real good. But it's like, dude, I'm a 48-year-old dude. BTS isn't really on my radar. Shakira, on the other hand, has been on the radar for a while because I am a big fan of Latin stars, and she's super awesome. I thought she did a great job. I actually, in all seriousness, I thought the kids that were dancing during her segment, some of them had so much good energy that it was almost, there was a couple on the right-hand side. They were like stealing the show from her. That's what I personally felt like. So I thought that was cool. I like seeing the Biebs run them out there. I think it's an ode to Canada. It's just a way to keep peace, just as the best that we can. And, you know, he's a good performer. I think he played that guitar song. Don't necessarily want to hear him play the guitar, but that's all right. The show should have ended at Shakira, in my opinion. It probably should have started and ended at Shakira. I'm sick and tired of bringing the kids out. I'm over bringing the kids out. I'm done with it. We've been doing this for 30 freaking years, man. We know we all care about the kids. We know that. Look, I was one of those kids, and you're like, oh, you are the future. You are the way. Y'all didn't do shit. You messed up. So look, let's quit bringing the kids out. Let's leave the kids at home. Let the adults have a good time. It's World Cup soccer. They want to drink. They want to get rowdy. They want to scream and cuss. It's America. So look, man, I loved it, but I could have did without the kids at the end, 100%. That's just my take.
Thank you for that, Tim. Bold take.
You're welcome.
Want to make sure everybody knows. Tim's the guy that's like, I hate the children. We are the world. No, not to me.
We did that already. We did it. We got all the stars out and we sang. We can't keep getting the stars together for the kids, man. It's tricky. You got to pay them a lot.
So allow me. Okay, I'm going to see if I can maybe give you my thoughts here.
Please.
All right. I love halftime shows, but I love them when they're good. There were elements that were good here. I had Tim go from bottom up. I'm going to go from top to bottom. Number one, Shakira. And there's no dispute over this. Shakira is the only one that understands how to do a halftime show on a global scale. Why? Well, one, she's still dancing and performing. Two, she's making love to that camera the whole time. Like, she doesn't break eye contact with you and you feel welcome. Like, thank you, Shakira. You let me in. She had some great dancers. It was super fun. It was lively. Shakira's so good that sometimes I don't even care if the song is good or not. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like she's had the same anthem 4 times and I've just been like, sure. Why not? She's the only person, aside from Fozzie Bear, who can say the word waka waka and you don't laugh at her. So, Shakira, number 1. Easy. Number 2, the Muppets. Listen, I popped hard when I saw Animal on the drums. I said, that's great. Great integration. Way too little Muppets on this. It was heartwarming. It's beautiful. It's great. It's fun for the kids. A whole family event. Now is where it gets bad. BTS. Boy bands learn a hard lesson the hard way, which is when you get older, them dance moves are harder to do, especially when you sing or sing. So I don't even hate them because it's like a very silly, fun, dumb song. Have you ever looked at the lyrics for this, Tim?
No.
Hold on.
No, I wouldn't. And if I did, I wouldn't admit it, Raf.
I think you need to because it's pop culture now. So, full lyrics. I'm just going to pull out a random moment. Okay. Shoes on. Get up in the morn. Cup of milk. Let's rock and roll. King Kong. Kick the drum. Rolling on like a rolling stone. None of this makes any sense. But you know what? God bless you guys. You're usually way more put together, and it's good.
They wrote songs about peanut butter and jelly in the 50s, so that I guess we're reverting. It's where we're going.
All right, here's where it gets worse. And this is where I think the internet was split. My number 4 was Justin Bieber. Now, was it a downer song? Yeah, he's going through stuff, y'all. Let him go through his stuff. Does he have to do it on the World Cup stage? No. But he is the one that actually sang live and performed live, and I can't ignore that. That is why he's ranked higher than Madonna. Because what are we doing here, people? I hate the fact that with Madonna, we can't just criticize the fact that it's a lackluster performance because people will say, oh, it's ageist. No, it's just not good. That's it. She's not singing or performing live. It was all pre-recorded. She brought out the soccer legends of like all time, and they're literally looking like they're held captive. Ronaldinho, when he looked over, was like, please save me. This is too. She's taking me against my will. It was rough. But I think we're at a point in society where we can move on from Madonna at halftime performances. It's a terrible song. The song music that she infuses with Disco Inferno, she's trying to have it helped with that remix. But Tim, music by Madonna sounds like a printer jam, and I don't know why it went to number one. I don't know why you guys like that song. It's really not good. And she refuses to let it die and brought it back here. And there was weird stuff where they were saying like Madonna and Bieber clashed behind the scenes. And all I could think of was, I didn't want either of them there. They can go clash at another thing. But yeah, it was really weird. So here's what I do want to take away from soccer, though, before we move on. And I know that we are an MMA show, but I wanted to bring Tim back in here for this. And I wanted to go over just something that I feel we should learn from them. So soccer, for the final broadcast, attracted 63 million viewers. Now, why is that significant? Well, for just the Fox telecast, it was 39 million. Well, Fox used to broadcast UFC. It dwarfs everything the UFC has ever done. And Dana White got out there and was starting to criticize them. And he goes, you guys got the worst freaking team. You don't know how to shoot celebrities. You guys didn't have the right time, and you're second to us, or we're second to you, which is a weird way of putting down both your own team and the World Cup team. But I want to point this out to Dana White. You can learn everything that Dana White knows about production if his number one gripe is that you didn't shoot celebrities the right way. I think it kind of tells you where the priorities are. So, yes, I'm not surprised that Dana White's like, you missed an overhead shot. Well, bro, listen. Nobody cared because the rest of the production was so much better than UFC shows. And I say that because sometimes soccer could be a boring product. UFC has an exciting brand, exciting fights, and sometimes they don't even shoot it great. It's okay. But for what they both do, they're fine. But let's be real. Soccer getting 63 million. Now you're wondering yourself, I'm sure, Raf, where are the other 23 million? It was from the simulcast on Telemundo. So the Spanish version, Tim, did 24 million views. So we are now in an era where multi-streaming and putting it out to two broadcast networks actually yields incredible results for both of them, for both Fox and for Telemundo. So we're about to get into some topics here, but I would like to take away the following ideas. One, let's learn what worked. Let's steal it. Let's try to integrate that into our world, because we were bragging a couple weeks ago, the Conor McGregor numbers, the White House numbers, they don't look like shit because this is just domestic. And they crushed it. So I feel like instead of bitching about soccer, we should probably be learning what we can steal and take away from production. So was there anything that you even saw from the soccer telecast that you thought, damn, that was kind of cool, Tim?
I mean, I thought they did a pretty good job. I don't watch a ton of soccer, but the action was good on the field. Camera work was good. So I didn't have any beef with that. Because I'm not a soccer fan, it was a little tricky when it went into extended time. I'm like, wait, what? Huh? But whatever. I thought it was good. It was good enough. It was good enough for me, and I wasn't a fan. I got what I needed out of it.
Tim, overtime is all about vibes. The vibes are strong. Yeah. Let's keep this going. Oh, the vibes are bad, man. We got to call it. Nah.
We're going to call it bad vibes. Yeah,
bad vibes, bro. All right, let's get into this first topic, which will have some, I think, implication as to what we were talking about, with maybe some implications on multi-streaming here. It looks like literally every organization that is not UFC related has banded together to form Captain Planet, meaning that they are coming together to do something. We're not quite sure what it is. Tim, why do you think these 5 organizations have come together, and what do you think is going to come of this announcement that Tom DeBlass made?
You know, it's like jiu-jitsu has finally discovered cross promotion in 2026. We got there. Let's build a statue. I don't know what to think of it. It's not exactly clear based on the post exactly what's going to happen, but we do know that Flow Grappling announced a strategic partnership with One Championship, and the general idea is they want to open up, at least initially, a pathway for athletes to compete across promotion without contractual restrictions. And I really think that's a reaction to all of these organizations going like, well, the UFC can eat any individual one of us, but if we all band together, they can't really eat all of us at the same time, which is a great idea because we know the UFC is quickly headed to like a closed ecosystem in the market. They're not going to share their athletes. They're not really interested in that. What I'm wondering is, do any of these other promotions benefit more from having this exchange? And will we see some double cross situation come up where one of them gets some athletes and then bounces out of it? Who knows? I don't know. But it looks like to me, this is all of the Flow promotions that are on that with One Grappling. I don't know what the involvement is with IBJJF and ADCC outside of the fact that they have a distribution set up with Flow. So I don't know if it goes beyond that or not, but I do think it's interesting. I don't know how it's going to play out, but it can't, I don't think it can be bad. I don't think it's a bad thing.
So here's my overall take on this. I don't know what this means. They just announced the 5 of us are banded together. Okay, what does it mean? Tom put on the thing, One is leading the charge. So we get the idea that maybe they've come up with a truce where they've like all agreed, like, let's all band together to not make you can't come to our events sort of a deal. Strategic partnerships are usually very vague in what they are plotting here. What popped in everybody's head, I'm sure, from the imagery was, does this mean we get like a Super Bowl kind of thing? Like, y'all band together to just do an event? And I'm not sure that's the case here. But I would love to see these 5 organizations play nice and do something, because these are pretty big organizations. And I think, I can't help but think part of this is a reaction to ADCC maybe not having its full potential stars, because we have some of the biggest names, and even Joseph Chen going on a podcast this week and saying, yeah, I think it's a natural reaction for people not to be involved because of the finances. It seems logical. And for him to put it so plainly and bluntly, it made sense where you said, oh yeah, certain big names aren't going to be involved because now their rationale is, I'm not going to make as much money as I can make elsewhere. So I thought, as a fun exercise here, given the 5 different names, Tim, so you have who's number 1, Polaris, CJI, IBJJF, and ADCC. When I said they were coming together like Captain Planet, I'm now going to have you come up with who is who from the Planeteers rings. There is Earth, Wind, Fire, Heart, and Water. Which is which from this group of 5, sir?
Okay, we got Earth, Wind, fire, heart, and water. And we're dealing with Polaris, ADCC, IBJJF. What were the other two, my friend?
Who's number one? Polaris,
Who's
CJI,
number one?
IBJJF, and ADCC.
CJI. Got you. Okay. All right. Okay. So I don't think this should be too hard, but let's see. I would go CJI would be the fire because I think that's obvious. Easy. That was easy. ADCC would be the wind because they're always blowing smoke. You never know what the hell they're doing or talking about. So I'm going to put them in that bucket. Boy, how am I going to do this? Who's the heart? Oh, my God. It's certainly not the IBJJF, and I wouldn't bestow that on Polaris. Come on. Oh, geez. This is rough. I think I messed up. I'm going to say that IBJJF is the water that everybody needs, and they're charging too much for it. I'm gonna have to do this, and I don't believe it, but I'm gonna say that who's number one is the heart. And wow. I guess Polaris is the earth.
I think now you understand why I like this exercise so much. All right. Allow me. And I feel bad because I maybe had a little more time to think about it, but it just is what it is. All right. Here's the way I did it. Who's number one is wind. Polaris, heart, because, you know, I mean, look at them. And, I mean, you know, the weird part is, I saw on the post when they mentioned the partnership, and Craig Jones put that out there. Craig Jones was like, I love all these people. And then I think Matt sent him a note that goes, hey, you forgot us. And he goes, yeah, I love you. And it's like, he goes, we're the best one. And I go, sounds like some heart shit if I've ever heard of any. So there's that. CJI is fire because self-explanatory. IBJJF, Tim, you had the best explanation. I put water as well. And you're 100% right. It's water that, you know, you'd get charged too much for. You're like, wait, I thought this was a natural good. Yikes. And last but not least, ADCC is Earth because it's a little earthly. You got to deal with it. You got to actually protect it a lot. You know, if you don't protect it, it might die on you. So there be that. But I also wanted to initially say them in the way that they said them in their accents. So like, who's number one is wind. Polaris is heart. CJ, fire. IBJJF, water. And ADCC is earth. Educational programming, everybody.
That's good.
So why is this important? We got to stay on this topic for one reason, Tim. I don't know if it's made its way anywhere else into our broadcast here, but are we talking about the Flow Grappling partnership anywhere else on the board?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
That's the only you're talking. Yeah.
Flow Grappling is now going to start airing on Amazon.
Yeah.
And I don't know that we had time to really talk about this, but I felt like this was a natural place to bring it up. So the big news coming out this week, shout out Train Angry for getting this news first and kind of putting it to everybody's direction. Flow Grappling is now under a fast channel partnership with Amazon Prime. Now, don't go canceling your Flow Grappling subscription because I want to make sure you're very clear on what's happening here. A fast channel is where you can watch part of their library. So like if you go to a Pluto channel and they have the Say by the Bell channel, they're not making new episodes of Say by the Bell, but you see the library of tons of episodes in the past. So for you, if you are watching this, it means you won't see like a Who's Number One or say a Polaris on your Amazon Prime membership, but you might see old versions of those episodes, not the newer ones. They'll still keep that behind the paywall for the members of Flow Grappling. But what say you about this partnership, Tim? Because I found it to be a very intriguing partnership.
Yeah, I think the timing is interesting too. It comes at the same time that they announce a strategic partnership with One, who is also on Prime. So I don't know if maybe there was something that was kind of worked out, like a three-way trade kind of situation. I don't think it's a bad thing. Obviously, Prime is in a lot of households. It's going to get way more exposure than it just being an app that you can search for in the App Store and download. Good on them. They're gonna have to find ways, and I think where most of this is going is to free content, because that's really what most people want, or a very low subscription model. It can't be too much. There's too many damn subscription models. Jiu-Jitsu's gonna have to find that right price point. But I think getting on a distribution platform like Amazon Prime is money. It's a great way to move. Be interesting to see where the numbers go for Flow, say like 6 months from now.
Nicely said. Here's my thing on this. Main thing that I have seen in this broadcast partnership. So I've been calling for a fast channel for ages. I'm so happy that somebody's gotten it. I'm relatively happy that Flow was the first one to do it. And here's why. Flow does have an expansive library. In ways they have probably underutilized it, but I think this is a good way for them to bring out all these different organizations that they partner with over the years. And that exposure is great because people in TV are always looking for content to keep people vaguely interested in something as maybe they clean up their house or do dishes. But that's how you get more crossover appeal. So I think there's a net benefit here. I think that really does help a lot of organizations get people interested in it. Where I think people have to be a little bit more realistic is they might be mad that it sounds like you get Flow grappling for free. And I think they're trying their best to explain, no, you don't get the premium stuff for free. There's still paywall stuff you got to go behind. But I think that's just because everybody wants to cancel sponsor or like memberships now. They want to cancel as much as they can because they're just like, dude, everything's expensive. So if you already have Amazon Prime, it's an extra benefit you get. And if you were looking to get away from Flow grappling, at least you're vaguely aware of the product, but you might be a couple years behind on seeing some of those things. So I feel like this is a strong move. I commend them for that. There's a lot of stuff that I've seen happen, and candidly speaking, a lot of what I want to do here on this show has always been doing like a fast channel approach where you can show in the future maybe multiple episodes of things that I've done. And I love seeing that people are receptive to that. So I really want to in the future see more and more organizations get their shine by doing that. So I wish them the best, even though they are Flow grappling. Good luck, everybody. I pay for a subscription, so y'all can suck it. I do support you. But you still got some things to clean up. We love you, but clean up the shitty parts. That's all. And here's the other thing. I think if you're Flow, I want to see some of those organizations that you partner with, like Main Character Jiu-Jitsu, Harlem Free Fight. They have a big thing coming out. I think you need to give those primetime slots to really up the average of those viewerships and to get more and more people invested in those products. So, and I also say that as somebody who knows Flow Grappling has a few subversives on their library. So just saying, boys, 8 p.m. slot would be great. That's all. All right. Let us move now to our next topic. Timothy, you brought up this next topic, which is that of coming. CJI 3 is apparently going to happen. The on-again, off-again relationship between Craig Jones and doing anything that requires a commitment seems like it's back on for Craig Jones Invitational 3. We've been going back and forth. He's been telling us it's not going to happen. No, for sure it's going to happen. Tim, what is the latest update on all things CJI 3?
I don't know. I'll tell you why. Look, I purposely put Craig Jones' face up there with the Hail Bop cult leader because at this point, I haven't even seen CJI 2.5. All right. So why are we talking about 3? I don't trust anything Craig Jones is saying right now. Put it out there, make us believe it. And I honestly think the cult believes it. I think if he would set a date and do it, not even tell us who's on the card, Raf, mystery freaking card, you don't get to know. We already know going to a Craig Jones show, someone's going to get humiliated. There's going to be some crazy spectacle. Craig will do something highly inappropriate. There will also be some great jujitsu, and Gordon Ryan is going to post 63 times about whatever happened that night. We're all in. We just need you to set a date, get a venue, sell the tickets. We're coming. But until that happens, I don't want to hear him talk about it because he's just fluffing me, man. He has CJI fluffed me too many times. Craig Jones, I will not be fluffed by you again. Not happening.
That's not gonna come back to us. That's fine. So, how do I say this? I want there to be another CJI. So we're all in agreement. We should do it. I just feel like it's such a weird tease that we have to go through all the time. Like, I don't think in baseball they have to be like, do you guys want another season? Good. Maybe we won't do one. We'll see. Did you guys like the NFL season? Yeah, I bet you did. Guess what? We're not doing it next year. Maybe we'll do a half season. Take that. Like, we want the sport to grow. It is an exceptional product. But I will pitch this. And perhaps I'm not the first to think of it. Maybe not. But maybe it's an exciting thing to consider. You know, Craig, you've always wanted to keep things free for people. And you did do a partnership with Flow Grappling. And wouldn't you know it, now them being on a fast channel, maybe that's a fast channel that could be provided for the masses for free.
Maybe.
The problem is you have to have a subscription to Amazon Prime. But I don't know the full numbers. I'm just willing to take a big guess here. I think a lot more people have Prime memberships than Flow Grappling memberships. So yeah, couldn't hurt.
I don't even want to be your friend if you don't have an Amazon Prime subscription. No, like, we can't hang out. If you don't have Prime, that is a qualifier for friendship. If you can't afford $9.99 a month for free shipping, get out of my life, dude.
But like, okay, when we talk about free shipping, Tim, what are we even paying for with Prime anymore? Before it used to be like, get the shipping by tomorrow. Now they're like, oh, we don't have to ship anything to you because we got some shitty ass cables that you need that we can send from like down the street. And that's now Amazon shipping.
Yeah. That's actually a very good point. I have suspected that there are just like roving vans driving around cities stocked with all the bullshit we buy all the time. Because sometimes it's there like in 2 hours. I'm like, that's almost too fast. That's uncomfortable for me.
Hey, Tim, did you know you need this dog food? Here you go. We already got it for you. Yeah. You're welcome. Talk to you soon.
$9.99 free shipping. Yeah, I don't know.
Listen, all I know is it's not the same as like 10, 15 years ago when I was like, free shipping? I'd be an idiot not to.
Right.
Sign here. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to see them maybe explore that as an option, put that on a fast channel. I think that would be really cool because CJI has the ability to attract people who would be looky-loos going through stuff. And I feel like that is the right demo, the right base. So yes. Now I think we're in the weird part of when do we get dates announced? When do we get athletes, talent? But if you look at the pool of people that they have in Polaris and who's number one and all these different things. And by the way, what a net positive for IBJJF. Like, if you look at those 5 different names, one doesn't look like the others. And with IBJJF, I think they were just happy to be called to the cool kids table, mostly because of their partnership that already pre-existed with Flow Grappling. Because they're just like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. I hate when people can't do all the events. By the way, have you read our new bylaws and how many points you have to be a competitive black belt? Nobody read that. Anyway, us too. And you know what's weird? I felt like a lot of these contracts for UFC BJJ had a clause in them, and I thought the initial clause was that they could go do IBJJF events. So maybe they're just trying to be cool. Net positive, though.
Shocker. Yeah, screw it. Let's go.
All right. Does the cult lesson is still a great fucking aside here. Love that. Let's move on to our next topic, which is that of money. Well, I'm glad we brought this up just a second ago, but Tim, how are people getting priced out at the IBJJF? We alluded to it just a few seconds ago, but it seems like it is a real concern for people who really, as much as they don't love paying, now they do like competing for that brand, might be a little conflicted with these incurring costs that they are taking.
So, I mean, a couple things. One is the IBJJF has always been on the expensive side of the range. Now, I do remember a time when the gi requirements were much more lenient. You felt a lot less like you were getting hustled, or you were at risk of getting hustled. And I think that's the thing that most people don't like about competing in the IBJJF. If you register early, it's still expensive, but it's like, okay, but then you got to get all your shit lined up, because if you show up and your sleeve is frayed, go to jail. You're out. You're going to have to go get a new gi. It's going to be $300 in the wherever the venue is. And I think people are tired of getting nickel and dimes like that already. So they already kind of have that taste in their mouth. And then they add on the registration fees. Oh, you want to keep your belt current. You got to do this. And really, in order to say, like, you have to earn this amount of points to do whatever. Okay. If the monetary prize is large enough, I maybe don't have a problem with that. But if the amount of points that have to be earned can be tied to a dollar amount, like that's 14 tournaments you have to do, or that's 23 tournaments. That's how you earn those points. Then it feels like, you're part of like the Zen nicotine pouch reward program, and you're saving points and scanning the back of your canister. You're paying for all of it. It's not anything of a bonus. So I don't know. I do know that the IBJJF is not a federation. It's a private business. It's a corporation. They make their money. They're for profit. There's nothing federated about it. Nobody has any say so like a proper federation would. So it doesn't surprise me that they're trying to get as much money as possible out of their audience.
Okay, Tim. Have you ever competed at the IBJJF?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What would it take in this day and age for you to compete, given all of the things that they're now charging for?
I won't even go to an IBJJF tournament. I won't even go coach at one. I won't even go spectate there, dude. It's like, it's too much for me, man.
We say this as people who have been longtime supporters of jiu-jitsu. It gets frustratingly more difficult every year. Now, I've never competed at IBJJF. I feel like it's something I'm supposed to do, but I've just never felt like I have to do it. And then when I've been inspired to do it, where I go, all right, I'll go do one of these things, I look at the price point and I go, I'm so sorry. This is so ridiculous for a dude that just wants to get the kind of experience. And that's really what you're paying for, is they are saying, we are the pristine tournament. We are a good standard. I can't say the gold standard, but we consider ourselves the gold standard. And you're paying for the honor of grappling somebody you could grapple somewhere else at a high school tournament, but this time instead in the Blue Pyramid. And I think to myself, why? It's the same person, same medal. To their credit, I feel like the nice thing that they do for old people is IBJJF, old people will show up. That is nice.
Yeah, they do.
I will give them that. Old people will show up for that one, but because old people have some money, so that's why they're not afraid to spend it.
Yeah, exactly. You're absolutely right about that.
You know what I'm going to do, though? From now on, any Ponzi scheme that I start, I'm going to be outside the IBJJF. 100% just be out there being like, hey, Masters Division. Good,
Yeah.
bro, same age. You have problems with your knee? Me too. Anyway, what do you feel about affordable housing? Do you have a timeshare? Would you like to talk about a jiu-jitsu timeshare right now? I'm here on behalf of Craig Jones. He has a great place where you can go train and live in Mexico, which, come on.
You know, they have those baseball fantasy camps. There's so many 50-year-old blue belts that are like their dream is to own an academy. We could just sell them a timeshare ownership of a gym. You can own your own gym, folks. 1 week out of the year, you get to come in and run it. Great. We saw these suckers working for free.
Honestly, I hate to tell you, I think it is the new B team model. I think it's literally just Craig goes, hey, mate, I don't want to live here for a month. You're in charge of B team. Peace. I'm out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Good to know. Let's move on to our next topic, which is that get the medic. Turns out there has been a huge disruption to Melky Galvo. Now, listen, there was a period where we were getting news every single day. The allegations, he goes to jail, when he's in prison, all of a sudden somebody gives him a cell phone. Obviously, it's his brother. How did you not know that? Weird. So there's been a weird series of events for Melky. But maybe the weirdest one is him having to admit that his shoulder hurts and that there may have been some conciliatory actions from where he is currently residing. Tim, with more on that, what can you tell us about this very strange situation?
So here's what I know. Well, here's what I've read, not what I know. So this is, take it. It's jiu-jitsu news. So, apparently Melky has appealed for a medical release. He had a procedure of some kind on his shoulder. I don't know if he had like an old key lock injury he had to get taken care of. Figured I'm in here for a while, so it'd be a good time to get tattoos and fix my joints. And after the surgery, he appealed for a release to a medical rehabilitation type of facility. He has been ordered to undergo therapy 5-6 days a week. And where he's at right now, the therapy is not adequate for a high-level jiu-jitsu coach. Just got to get his shoulder working really well. So in the process of him doing this, I don't know exactly how the Brazilian courts work. I could speculate, but some type of public-based prosecutor pushed back, started digging into some of the records, and discovered that the medical facility where he's trying to appeal to be moved to, the ownership has a tie-in. It's an acquaintance. It's the acquaintance to a relative of his, and the article might have even mentioned his wife, but I'm not positive about that. So there's a lot of speculation that this is just a ploy to not have to wait in jail for his trial. This is a ploy for him just to kind of get released somewhere that's more friendly to him, where he can chill a little bit. I don't know, but look, man, if this is what he's doing, then it doesn't look good, man. Like you said, we're trying to be like, hey, we don't know everything. Doesn't look good, but I don't know. But it's just like, yo, we found a cell phone in your underwear. Okay, that don't look good. Dog, you can't have nothing in your underwear if you're accused of sexual assault. You can't do nothing like that. It's like, duh, you dumb dude. Don't put anything down there. Then he gets busted trying to get off on some shoulder rehab. It's like, come on, dude. You need to go do Pilates while you're in jail. Like, you're in jail, dog. This is county. You don't get to do anything, man. You got to sit around and watch a TV with a bunch of other jailbirds, man. Get over it. It's disgusting if this is just a bullshit tactic, and it sounds like it is.
Okay. A lot of harsh words were said here about somebody whose jury's still out on him. Let me point this out to you, Tim. You alluded to it, but I want to complete the thought. Again, just accused. Seems pretty bad. We don't know how this is all going to play out. But from what we do know, in terms of getting a cell phone like a shady dude, Milky using the situation 100% is the dude you expect to make a run for it if he gets help with his shoulder. Like, you know, he's like, oh, can I get some help? And they're like, cool, I'm just going to step out of the room for a second. I'll be right back. And you know, you see him like trying to make a run for it. Like, this is 100% a cartoon villain that you know is going to run away. So I think it's a bold move by him. And in some ways, it is so consistently bad guy-esque that I almost appreciate it. Where I go, you know what? Damn. You're insane, bro. Like, credit to you. At least you're consistently insane. Trying to be like, oh, my shoulder. Oh, my God. It really hurts. It really hurts. Let's make him run for it. So, anyway, that's ridiculous. But let's move on to our next topic. So this happened. Danaher and Big Dan apparently had to step in during an uncomfortable situation at Kingsway. And I feel like this is an interesting little snippet that you see. Maybe you saw it on your social media, but there seemed to be somebody who was causing problems at their gym. They stepped in. Fortunately, nothing happened. But Tim, what exactly from the accounts that you've heard has been in this scenario?
So apparently this creeper has been very active in social media with women, like super inappropriate. And Danielle Kelly was one of these, apparently. She was training at the gym that day. He had showed up, was just, super uncomfortable, odd, doesn't really belong there. And so she mentioned it to, I guess John and Big Dan. Look, and they went over